Welcome back to the Psychic Soul Healer channel. My name is Laura. I'm going to do a general message tonight for Cancer. Know that energy is fluid. Roles could be reversed. Just interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Never force anything. Okay. Now, also know if you're new to the channel, I like to go in deep with my readings. So we will be looking at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, and see how they play out as karmic themes within your experience. If you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, you just got to like the video, subscribe to the channel, write the word, the video in your comment bar. That's the first card that I pull out. And that is the card that tells me why everyone's doing what they're doing. Now, any important information about the channel, anything of any relevance to the channel, you can find in the description box below, along with my two other YouTube channels. So if you're a Virgo or connected to a Virgo, connected to a Scorpio, want to know about a Scorpio, whether that's your rising sign, whatever, definitely, check them out if it's something that calls to you. All right. Now, let's see what that word in the video is. Let's see. Sleepy. Okay, stubbornness. Stubbornness. I feel, Cancer, that someone is like in regret that they were really stubborn. They actually think that you're stubborn now. And they're like, wow, they just can't believe that you've held back from them for so long. They are the ones that normally hold back. And so the thing is, so much time has passed that they didn't really expect it to go this long. And now they're thinking that they sabotaged the connection, I feel like, because they got caught up in their way. But they, are those are those type of people that are like, I never give up, I never lose. I never lose, I never give in, I never apologize, I never, like that type of energy. I guess we will not be using that deck of cards that just fell. Okay, let's see what their hidden truths are right now. I am becoming a better person. Well, I feel like they lost you. So in the fact that, I don't feel like they're happy that they lost you, they are becoming a better person because they're seeing how their stubbornness, how their game playing has cost them this connection. This person didn't want to be vulnerable. They didn't want to really like be open about what they wanted. And you know, held back. They was like held back in every single which way. And they met their match. You did the same exact thing. And they expected you to cave. And then now they're thinking that they should have caved. Finding out the truth crushed me. I feel like the only truth here is the fact that you're not madly in love to the point that you're going to give up who you are, your self-respect, that you're not somebody to play with. And I feel like that's what's crushed them. Their own behavior has crushed them, like I said, because they decided to be so stubborn over no reason. I feel like you really didn't ask for anything. It's like you just wanted like a really time, a relationship, but of time, whether that was a friendship, whether that was like a dating, let me know what this is. It's like they didn't want to do anything. They just wanted everything their way and they didn't really want to see what their way was, is what I'm feeling. I know I messed up everything. And that's what I felt. I felt like this person knows that they messed up everything because they played these games. Let me use a different deck of cards because that deck fell. Let me just take a peek and see what they did. Rabbit hole. So it's again like just going around and around in circles, creating crazy drama. So I feel like sometimes like they would bring in third parties, make it look like they were interested in someone else give their time to superficial people that they were talking to either on Instagram or Facebook or some stupid social media, some little nobody that was feeding up and blowing up their inbox and blowing up their ego and not really giving you time, not making you feel safe in the emotional department. It's like never really knowing what they wanted and just kind of keeping it like around and around, crazy drama to avoid, actually being in a relationship. Like a relationship with this person is that. And they were always, I feel like part of them was always trying to see how far they could take it, how far they would push it. How far are you willing to let them, get away with what they would get away with? And it was almost like, prove to me how much you care about me. Like an ego maniac between the other people that they were talking to and what they expected you to do to run after. And like I said, inconsistent, not letting you feel safe, not letting you feel comfortable. Some days being really super nice, other days not being nice, never really knowing where you stood in the connection. And then if you said something to them, it was like everything got twisted around as if you were doing something wrong. Again, denial, like unwilling to face the truth. Again, hoping that, I feel like they hope that you would be in denial of like what they were doing, that you would be so like smitten with them, because I feel like they've gotten away with that before. I also feel like when it comes to them like pointing out things that they need to do to heal for just themselves, to work on themselves, they're in denial. They don't want to work on themselves. They don't really want to do anything. So you telling them how they're treating you, they're not going to listen to that either. And it's because where they are. Like I said, I feel like you're dealing with a person that has a really big ego, that, yeah, they were attracted to you, but it's like they're attracted to a lot of people and you want to talk to all those different people. And it was more about feed my ego. Let me create some drama so that it feeds my ego. So I feel like good about myself instead of like building a connection. Like almost like they were toying with you and a lot of other people. Again, and hoping that you would again play like the savior, right? The savior that comes in and tries to fix them, which hoping that you would be in denial and savior. And I feel like you were like, no, I already know that you don't want to really be fixed because you feel like you're out of place. You're the one that, again, you don't feel comfortable in you. I can't make you feel comfortable in you. You, again, this is your way. There's a deep emptiness within inside of you. And that's why you need everyone to like, build your ego up. You're in denial of the things that you need healing in yourself. So of course you're inconsistent with me. But then, you want me to come in and be the savior to this relationship and to you, which is what I felt like you felt, Cancer. Like you're like, oh, you want me to be your savior. You want me to come in and fix the relationship because you don't feel good about you. So because you don't feel good about you, you're going to play games with me. And I feel like you wouldn't do it. So you withdrew, which this person didn't expect because I feel like the way that they dealt with you was they withdraw, right? Emotionally, they're not consistent, so they withdraw. They don't want to look at their own issues, so they withdraw. They get caught up in, senseless, meaningless relationships that are going to feed their ego, that deliberately create trauma to avoid their situation because they feel so inadequate about themselves. And normally, what happens is some person that they're talking to normally comes in and tries to fix it, tries to fix them. They don't have any intention of fixing it. What they have intention of doing is keeping people like trauma bonded to them, that so they continually are able to like suck out the energy, right? Because in the end, they're never giving anything back to anyone. They're only taking. They're only taking. This person has regret because they're viewing you a lot differently. And they're also never thought in a million years that you would like hold your ground and be like, oh, you want to play this game? Okay, I can play this game too. Wait, I can play this game. Where, like I said, they took it to the extreme. They took it to the extreme. And I think it's because they just feel they someone that feels again really insecure. They're deliberately rebellious, but I feel like they're rebellious because they don't feel good about themselves. So instead of feeling inadequate, they take on this persona that they're like a bad boy, like a bad girl, like this persona, like you can't hold me down, you can't. And again, it normally gets people to try and get them to do what they say that they're not going to do. They just viewed you as somebody that would do it, and you're not going to do it. So that's the issue. So let's see if they're going to do anything. Let's see if they are going to do anything at all to fix this connection. I feel terrible for hurting you. And I feel like, again, because they're viewing you from a different perception. Finances are a problem. This person doesn't feel good about themselves. Like, I feel like you see like imbalances all through their life. So when finances are a problem, it's a sign that again a person feels inadequate. And the truth of the matter is, I feel like their way is to not really have real relationships because they can't have real relationships. So what happens is they come into a relationship and they create a lot of drama in the way that they make it like they're ready to be in a relationship. I'm now also feeling like that, like just always going around and around and around and around in a circle, never giving purposely, like being rebellious. And why? Well, because they feel inadequate, because there's financial problems. So they can't really give you anything. And really, they thought that you were someone else. And once they saw that you're not that person that they could toy with, well, it made them feel even smaller. I dive in and out of relationships. Like I said, this person never really is able to have a relationship because they never heal what needs to be healed. They don't fix their financial problems. So as long as they don't fix their financial problems, they know that no one's going to want to be with them. And so what they do is they, try to make themselves feel better about themselves because they don't know why they have such a hard time making money, that they, dive in and out of relationships and create like toxic, connections because they never have any intention of really giving anyone anything. They don't have anything to give. However, they see that you're like a good catch. They see that you're not who they thought that you would be. They thought that you would be like someone that didn't know your worth, that you would come and try and fix them and heal them and then again give them what they wanted and then they could dive out the relationship. And now they feel stupid. They feel bad because they're actually seeing that you're a good person. And what it is they need time. They need time to like really, they're not going to do anything, and they need time because they need to see, like, I think that this relationship, how it played out, that again showed them a different version of themselves. I feel like this person had a big ego. I feel like they didn't feel good about themselves. That's why they created that big ego. I feel like things in their life, a lot of them, there were a lot of changes in their life. But the one thing is that they always had a connection with you. However, they played games, and they play games because they have financial issues. They don't have their life together, and they can't really figure out what it is. So they have to, get their happiness and feel good about themselves by, getting their ego blown up. So it wasn't the fact that they didn't have any feelings for you. It's just like you said, I feel like their traumas and their feeling inadequate are greater than their feelings for you. And that's why, like I said, this person needs time to get their life together and to figure out how to get their life together. I feel like they would even need time if to talk to you about, like, because they feel horrible for treating you the way, but they would even need time to be able to apologize, to be able to explain. I feel like nothing has happened within this life to help this person move forward. So as long as nothing happens, they're not going to say anything to you. Now, when we attract a person that, again, is like this, that kind of wanted their cake and eat it too, kind of wanted, to um, kind of thought that you were someone that you're not, we have to say, well, why did I attract this person? Because the universe always brings you who you need, not who you want, who you need to help heal. So we always look at the spiritual blocks by looking at the inner child wounds first. Because what we'll notice is the inner child wound will create a karmic theme, and that karmic theme will play out within, your life, where you keep repeating it, but it plays out with different people, again, or different situations, but always making you feel like you're in a place of disempowerment, feeling like a place of like you can't be loved, whatever the theme is. So let's see what it is. I pulled 3 cards. There's, again, security and safety. So again, inner child wounds, you didn't feel safe. Security, I associate security with emotional support. And also safety, when a person makes you feel safe. This person didn't do that. Space. I feel like where there's this space, there's tons of things to create within that space. And I'm feeling like when you were younger, you didn't really go out into the world and explore. And you didn't really utilize a lot within that space except for survival. And the reason why is because you didn't feel safe. So again, that space for me is always to go out and find the wonders within yourself, the wonders within you. It's not to just have emptiness. I mean, I feel like emotionally you didn't get what you need growing up, didn't feel safe in the way you grew up. This person did the same thing. So instead of you going out and actually having a love affair in your life or connecting with someone on a deep, intimate level, this person's not even capable, it would still be like just all this empty space of nothing. When really, like I said, that space you could be creating. Again, loner. You were a loner growing up. And again, there's a part of you that doesn't want to be a loner now. You want to be in a relationship. This person's a loner. This person is a loner. So there's a part of you that still feels that you're a loner. And it's because you don't really feel safe and secure. But what makes us feel safe and secure is that when we utilize the space, right, our own time to creating ourselves, I mean, life really is, every day is an empty canvas to create something new. Even if you might say, well, I have a job. Well, again, you're not at your job all day, all night. You might say, well, I feel like I'm at my job most of the day. Yes, you are. However, you can make small changes in the day. You could also do things differently at work. Every day is a new day. And so you're getting this clean slate to create whatever it is that you want. And it's not really the way that you grew up. If you grew up without support, you were alone. And really, when you join things and you create things with your time and utilize that space, you're connecting with other people. You are no longer a loner. And it's not okay to be a loner. This person that you're what's connected to is a loner because they feel inadequate. And they feel inadequate because financially they have a hard time making money. So they don't feel strong within themselves. So they would rather connect to someone, Cancer, that's going to get connected to them so that they don't have to really show their inadequacy. And because they don't feel good about themselves, they always need their ego fed. So emotionally, you would never feel secure with this person because they need to heal themselves first. That's really what spirit is saying. And so the healing message is the calm. I breathe, live, and grow the light within me. I do one thing at a time and focus on the present moment. I cast off my doubts. All fear dissipates and I find peace in my being. So again, the calm, which is, I feel like in that space of calm, we always get intuition, right? That tells us that we're not alone. That tells us that there's a greater being that lives inside of us, and there's spirit that lives inside of us. So that's number one. And to focus on the moment, only in the now, instead of project or say, make assumptions about the past. It's to be only in the moment, because in the moment is when you get that divine guidance, is when you're being led. If you're up in your head about thinking about the past or future, you're going to miss what happens in the moment. You won't get that divine guidance in the moment. That divine guidance leads you to new opportunities. Your intuition leads you to doing new things. And it's about focusing on what you want to create. So, but by doing that is by being in the moment and creating new life. And this actually tells me that too. It's like, whatever this was more of a karmic connection. And a karmic connection saying, do you want to live the same life that you had growing up in childhood, where you emotionally didn't get anything and where it was all about, feeding somebody else? Like, this is actually narcissistic behavior. And I feel like if this is a person that you felt connected to, well, on a very deep spiritual level, and then you look at one of your parents, it's not uncommon that a caregiver or someone close to you, again, was narcissistic, only cared about themselves. In this story, we're being asked to really choose ourselves, to realize that this was a karmic connection that, where there's a choice. And that choice was to choose yourself so that you can be led by your intuition without, again, narcissistic chatter where this person always wants to be fed, creating drama, unnecessary drama to, keep you, that's narcissistic, to keep you feeling insecure. So you keep giving to them so that they could suck the life out of you. No, it was to take all your energy and put it into yourself, because nothing's going to make this person feel better about themselves except for healing themselves. I'm going to leave that there. My mouse fell. Oop, I gotta bring you back on screen. I don't know. Look, there you are. Okay. Um, but I'm gonna leave that there. Because like I said, it's a done deal. There's, until this person heals, can't, it's not repairable, the relationship. You can't do anything with unless you want to go into a toxic relationship, which is why I see you didn't, but what they expected you to do. Now they feel foolish. So, and it's a good thing that they did, because let me tell you, enough times that that happens, maybe this person will say, let me fix the things that I need fixed in my life so that I'm not going to be forever by myself. Because that's eventually what's going to happen. All right, I'm going to leave that there. Cancer, you let me know whether you resonated. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.